G'day and welcome to all the Southern Football Netball League fans of Division 2. It is that show. It's here at GameFace. We're in HQ, in Studio 1, live and kicking. Can't wait to crack into this one because it's going to be a fantastic show. Some top stories for you. Wiedering boots 6 as Springy keep on rolling. The Hammers stay in touch with the top 4. Doveton lose a big name. We'll crack into that one a little bit. I'm shattered. And Keysborough thump the Bears, remain the only undefeated team. Some superstars on the panel. I'm one of them. Tomo's another. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good. How are you?
The big dog round here is this fella Will. How are you, pal?
Yeah, going all right, mate. How's yourself?
Yeah, look, I'm really good. We've got some football to talk about, and let's start off with a team that is just going quite nicely at the moment. Springvale Districts, 2 years now, they've been going quite well. No pressure to keep going well. I like to put it on him, but they have thumped Chelsea Heights 2-5-17 to 21-13, 1-39. I'm going to hand it over to you boys to dissect this game.
Couple of big bags there for a couple of your forwards, mate. 6 to Wiedering, 5 for Fan.
Yep.
They're in good form, aren't they, those two big fellas?
They are, yeah. They cop a fair bit of attention too. And we had 10 goal kickers for the second week in a row, maybe 3 weeks in a row. So, yeah, there's options, not just outside of those two, which is good. Yeah,
but if you're not aware, Robbo and I, we're all about the big goal kickers kicking big bags. That's what we want to see on the show. So Matt and Popper, keep it up. That's what we want to see. Big bags.
How are you managing the two, though? I mean, I know what it's like being in a forward line. You do want to be the big dog. You do want to be the number one. Do these guys fight it out to be that number one?
Yeah, they do. No, they work well together. They're a different breed, the forwards, aren't they? They're all a bit me. So
I know they work well together, but in quiet moments, do they go, yeah, I'm the one?
Yeah, there's a bit of friendly competition there, but I think Popper's got him for now. So
right. Well, there you go, Matt. There's a little bit of a challenge for you. But you're going to the bye, mate. You'll be sitting pretty. You're feeling quite good about your football club at the moment. Obviously, been the coach and a couple of years now. You come into Division 2 and you're wondering what you're going to expect. You're doing it nicely at the moment.
Yeah, we'll take where we're at, obviously. Some good things happening, but the pressure is to keep it going. I mean, we're going to Keysy in a couple of weeks. That's going to be a really big test to see where we are against the premiership favourites. So, we'll wait and see how we go.
It's a journey, a season, isn't it, Will? You know, and you say the J word a fair bit, but it is. You start from the beginning and you hope that your team's okay, and then you learn and you're trying to get towards those finals games.
Yep.
So there's one club right here doing it quite nicely.
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint, but like what Springy Districts are bringing to the table, and obviously after the bye they get a real big test in Keysborough, but we'll get to that a little bit later. But going back to this win, must be pleased with the way the boys have fought that out. 7 goal to none opening term.
Yep.
Good start.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we blew them out of the water a little bit fiery early in the game. They had a pretty clear intent to come out and ruffle some feathers, which is, that's fine. You cop that. When you're at top ladder, got the bottom side sort of always coming at you. Our guys, to their credit, I was really proud of the way they handled it. There was a bit of a melee, and I think both teams have been cited for that. Probably unavoidable at times when sides sort of come at you like that, and I was really proud of the way our guys handled it. And to be fair, the umpires handled that really well too.
Doesn't work. That sort of stuff doesn't work. But anyway, moving on. Your starts have been good though. Have you been working on that? Because the boys have just come out fired up the last couple of weeks.
No, it's not really something you can work on. We have a really set routine, and when we don't deviate from that, right down to the minute with our line meetings, with our warm-ups and that sort of stuff. So we're really settled when we go into the game. We're in getting habits, and I guess, I don't know if we start well, but yeah.
Talk about some extraordinary vision, Will. Came out, not this game, but the game that went on before it. Now, it's come across your desk.
Yep.
Why don't you talk us through it?
How good's Two's Footy? Just as a preface, I love Two's Footy.
Roll up early to watch Two's Footy all the time. You get big scores, you get characters.
And you get some of this stuff. So, the water carriers have got an important job, as you know, rehydrating the place.
Water carriers or milk carriers?
Oh, well, either. I've always been a bit of a fan of the old chalky milk, as we all are. But
really?
I've never seen anyone run out to deliver the... yeah, thanks for that. That's enough from you.
I got a nosebleed the other day. Chocolate milk came out. Anyway, moving on.
How good's this? The water character, Matt Allender?
Yeah, Beers, as he likes to be known. Beers Allender.
Beers?
Yeah.
Runs out with
Milky Allender for now.
I like that. Runs out with a 2-litre bottle of Oak, as you can see, and this is what happens.
Okay.
Easy! What a man. And some chalky milk? I've never seen that before in my life. Yeah,
That is fantastic. Well done, Twos Football, and well done to that particular runner. Who is it again? Milky.
Milky Islander, yeah.
How good's the Chelsea Heights player taking a swig as well? It's good mateship there shown between the two sides, and more of that, please.
Just before we move on from that game, congratulations, Darren Walsh, 150 games for Chelsea Heights as well.
Well done, Walshy. I love a big end. It's one of life's great pleasures. You know, you can't have them all the time, but when you have them, it's absolutely fantastic. Other results: Murrumbeena 10-15-75 defeat East Brighton 4-8-32. No Luke James for the Beena, but big contributions from Hackett, Semmel, and Nick Brazel.
Yeah, they were outstanding. The Vampires had a good start. They led at quarter time and half time, but faded out towards the end, and unfortunately, for East Brighton, Murrumbeena just motored away.
Yeah, no Luke James, obviously. I think he played out at Currumborough in that one-off game, and he kicked 5, and they won narrowly, so he's had a good influence out there. Hackett, again, playing well. Semmel played a lot more in the midfield this week, and he also had a good game from the vision I saw.
Luke James acting on a promise. I think he does this every year, plays that one game away, so for those people that don't know, there's no big story there. Moving on to the next game, it's Keysborough 21-10, 136, getting it done over the Bears 5-6-36. Second straight 100-point demolition for Keysy.
Yeah, they're tracking along very, very nicely, and fortunately another tough day at the office for the Teddies. Timmy Werner booting 6 goals, handy day out, and I think you've been pretty hot on them. Might be the premiership favourites in your estimation.
Well, if you haven't lost a game and everyone else has, I guess you probably would be the favourites, wouldn't you?
I'm loving this, by the way.
It might be. Yeah, it is. There's those top 3 teams trying to put it on each other, but it might be a bit of a. Will you be watching this Saturday? I would have thought, because it is Doveton taking on Keysborough. You'd like to see where Keysy are at, and you'll probably see it when you see Doveton.
Well, I actually won't be there, but we'll have our spies there, and we'll be watch the vision. Yeah.
Trying to be professional.
Anyway, we'll move on, because that's going to be fantastic. And well done to Keysborough. Sky 7-14-56 defeated by Hampton 16-13 109. Will.
They're going very nicely, Hampton. They're stringing a few wins together and looking pretty good. Ashman kicked 5 goals for Hampton.
Yep.
They made no secret of their top 3 ambitions, and they're tracking along nicely.
Yeah, brother of Springy District's great Brendan Ashman, good mate of mine. So good to see young Mick playing some good footy. Should be playing at Springy, really, not Hampton, but.
Come on, mate. You have to get in his ear. And, little Lukey Hayes playing some good footy as well, which is great to see. He's
good player.
He's a star.
Yeah, crafty half forward. He works really hard. He's a really good pickup for them.
And rounding out the weekend's football was the Doveton Eagles 28-18 186 defeat Heatherton 9-7 61. That's a big score, but that's not the big story. The big story is probably for the whole league to see Pever Wright out for the year with an Achilles. That's the story coming in. We'll get 100% confirmation on that as time progresses, but it looks like it's going to be a season-ending injury for the big fella. That's a massive loss for the Doves, isn't it, Tom?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Obviously the big name recruit.
You know him well too. He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. You wouldn't wish that upon anyone, especially someone who's well respected like that. But yeah, you guys are going to have to step up. I think Segursma played. He's had a bit of injury, but he's back. He kicked 6.
He's playing well.
He is, yeah. So a bit more responsibility on him. You've only played 2 games yourself, so maybe a bit more responsibility on you as well. So there's still plenty of firepower down there.
Well, there is, and look, yeah, a bit of soul searching probably being done this weekend, for this week for the Doves, because he is just a big lad and everyone likes him down there. But they have got some big ins. MC comes back and plays for them and plays well, which will give a lot of people a lot of positivity. But yeah, that's shattering for the league, because you want your best players out there, and you'd say the same thing, Tomo, wouldn't you? I'm going to get you guys to talk through each team now. It's the mid-season report card for each club, the positive, the negative so far this season, projected finish. It's going to be hard for you to talk about your own club, Tomo, but you'll do that anyway, and we'll probably do it for you. I want you to grade them A or an F or anything in between. Go for it, Will. I'll hand it over to you.
Alrighty, so we'll start with Caulfield, first cab off the rank. We sort of expected them to finish more down the bottom end of the table. Strung a few wins in a row. I think they won 3 out of 4 before last week. So they're tracking okay?
Yeah, I think they're going okay, and I've rated them a B for where their list's at. They lost some key players, as you know, last year. The guys they've brought in, I think they've done all right. The midfield group, Brown, Patterson, Acox, I think they're all playing some decent footy. They're probably still learning to gel together. So with Ballard out as well, he's key for them, and O'Keefe, he's their best player. I've rated them a B at 3 and 5. I think they're going all right for where the list's at.
And Fred Jenkins had to jump into the ruck last week and did a reasonable job as well, which is great to see.
Chelsea Heights. Hard to get a handle on it, but I reckon bottom 3 for mine, where they're likely to finish.
Yeah.
Been a bit disappointing. They picked up a couple of handy players at the start of the year, but probably haven't fired as expected.
Yeah, well, Addard's injured. He's obviously key. Odell with that suspension, I think they rely on him a lot. I've ranked them at D for where they probably would have hoped to be playing finals. And they're probably going to make it hard now from 2 and 6. I think they'd be disappointed with where they're at with where their list is at.
Doveton Eagles, they're a side I really want to see get a reasonable crack at it. They've been cruelled by injuries. But fit and firing, they're as good as any in the comp.
Yeah, they are. Oh, they're still a massive threat for the premiership. I think there's 4 that are probably all even, to be honest. They're a real threat. I'll rate them as probably a B+. I mean, they're 6 and 2. Callanan's missed a fair whack of it. He's back. O'Neill's still out. And now Peever didn't finish the game and probably done for the year. I've been really impressed by one player, Nick Beer. I know Robbo can tell us a bit about him.
Yeah, Beery's been he's a quite unassuming character, and there's a couple of guys down there like that, and it's good. He's been there for a while now, a couple of years, 2-3 years, probably even more as a junior. I'm not 100% sure, but just sticking with these guys that are regulars and they show up, they come to training, they put in. He's been one of those guys over the last 2 years, 3 years that I've been there. I've been really impressed with him. And look, yeah, I agree with everything that you're saying with the Doveton Eagles. Cruel by injury. Blokes coming back. They've just got to get a run on now, between now and the end of the season, get some confidence up.
Their depth is good. Their reserves are a really good side. I think they're top on the ladder. So there is depth there to cover these guys. I saw Big Reedy went forward and kicked 5. So
Reedy he's in a big rooter in our seniors. He's been absolutely fan. He's a big rooter. I don't
know about that. I know Matty Reid, and I'll tell you what, he's a lot of things, but I don't know about a big rooter. He's a good guy, but yeah.
Let's move on. But he's been in good form, great form.
On the field or
off the field? On the field.
You love that, Reedy.
Gotta love it.
All right, East Brighton, struggling a little bit. No depth. They haven't had that for quite a while. A couple of big, hefty defeats. Where do you see them?
I've rated them as C-. I think they would have been like to be better than 2 and 6. I think they've got a lot of sort of older guys that have been there forever. Probably not a lot of depth, as you say. Their reserves really struggling. One big positive I've taken from them in the first half is Nathan Foster, young stringy forward. I think he's got a lot of talent, and I think they really need to work hard to hold on to him for the future. He's kicked 18 goals. It's a really good start for a young guy.
Absolutely. And Hampton Hammers, an interesting club. They've had big aspirations. We've talked a bit about that. Have the performances matched up to their aspirations, do you think?
Well, 4 and 4, no, because they're not finishing top 3 at 50-50. So I'll rate them as a C. I still think they're a really good side. They've got some good top end players. Callum White really impressed me this year, and Luke Hayes at cross half forward. Those 2 guys have probably stood out to me as guys that I didn't really know anything about, and watched a lot of their vision, and we've played against them, and they're really, really good young players.
Does Campusano add anything to them?
I don't know a lot about him. I've never seen him play. I can't comment. Yeah.
From my point of view, I think he's a handy pickup for them. Handy to have a bloke that can play either end of the ground, kick goals, stop key forwards. I reckon the back half of the year we'll likely see a bit of an improvement from Hampton on the back of him, and a few other guys like Luke Hayes playing some good footy as well.
I know Lou Roberts has been out, and I think Devereaux's missed a couple of games as well. So once those guys they can beat anyone on their day.
So looking forward to seeing a big back half of the year from Hampton. Heatherton, thoughts?
Heatherton, the interesting one. They've 1 win, 6 losses, and a draw, and I've ranked them at a B-. So I think with their list, I think they've done okay. Really brave by the club to come up, and I really respect them for that. There's clubs in Division 3 that, in my opinion, they should have taken it, and they would be pushing to play finals, but didn't want to. So good on Heatherton for coming up. Really respect that.
And you can't begrudge the Division 3 clubs for knocking it back either. Win on merit. I do not have anything against that. So to each their own.
I don't know. What do you think, Robbo? If you got the opportunity to come up, you take it, or you stay where you are, Div 3?
Oh, I think you take the opportunity to go up. You've got to show that you're a club that is willing to take on the challenge, really, and that sends a message to a lot of players out there. Well, I'm going to a club that's got aspirations rather than a club that's just happy to compete. So that's my.
I couldn't agree more with that. Yeah, and they would compete really well. A couple of those clubs. in Division 2.
You might surprise yourself too, you know. You might go, well, some of our players will rise to the challenge. Let's rip into this one, boys. We're running out of time.
We'll agree to disagree. Keysborough, flying.
Yep, A+, absolute. If there's any higher than A+, they are the flag favourites. They haven't lost a game. They're A++. 65 goals out of Carnelli, Werner and Bryan. Ant Brannan, who's the one who declared them as flag favourites, playing some great footy across half-back, experienced player. Bryce Sutton, probably the best ruck in the comp at the moment, and Rick Powell, who's might be winning the League BNF at the moment. So
I reckon they're absolutely flying. I reckon there's a little bit of gamesmanship happening here with the A+ favouritism, and I'm loving it between him and Craig.
It's good.
Brilliant, but no, they are making
It's
everybody
easy by their own admission, though. They haven't been able to take on Springvale or Doveton yet, so they'd like to know where they're at. They've been cruising through and kicking some big scores. The next couple of weeks will be very telling for them.
Absolutely, but we'll get to that shortly. Murrumbina,
yep,
bit up and down. Won a few, lost a few.
Yeah,
What do you
B+. Obviously, they've lost 2 games, but they've had, Jay Bruno's missed a fair bit of footy, and I hear he's broken his jaw.
He has, yep.
Yeah, in the reserves. So, unfortunate for him and Murrumbina. Mitch Walters too. He's such a good player. He's missed a bit of footy too.
Yep.
So they have had injuries. Blokes like Jamie Hackett having really good seasons. B+, they're still within striking distance. I think with the guys they've had out, I think they're still well positioned.
Sky, unfortunately bottom of the table, yet to register their first win.
Yeah, hard one. I think obviously they haven't got the greatest list. They've lost some players over the last couple of years. Michael Kelly's probably the one that's really having a good season for them, the ruckman.
And finally, Springy Districts, your mob. If I were to give you a grade, I'd give you an A+ as well. There haven't been too many sides that have come up from Division 3 and had the amount of impact that you guys have had, Doveton the previous year as well. Where do you see your side sitting? 8-1, obviously flying.
Oh yeah, spoke earlier about it. For me, it's more our reserves are going really well. Our depth, our younger guys. Our reserves are full of young guys, which is great to see. Blokes like Lockie Milne, Mickey Pettit, Liam McCabe. They're all putting serious heat on senior players for spots. So our depth is really strong. And Matty Wettering, George Casares in the seniors, Brodie Lau, they're all under 21.
Fantastic. The future looks bright for Springvale Districts. Keep it up. Well done, boys. Thanks for that. Let's move into the ladder after, 8 rounds of football. You can see Springy Districts on top playing the most games there. Keezy, you've given them an A++, and they have been fantastic. The last couple of years, they've been there and abouts, haven't they? Haven't been able to just crack those probably 2 or 3 top sides. They're doing it at the moment and rounding it out in the top 4, then Murrumbina, Doveton Eagles. We'll move on to the Division 2 team of the round 2. Division 2 team of the week. Let's rush through this, boys, because we are fast running out of time.
Alrighty, from the back line, Declan Lee from Chelsea Heights, Nathan Brown from Springy Districts, and Tommy State, the president's son, in the back pocket. He's a mighty fine player. He's Statey.
Yep, halfbacks back in Anthony Brannan. Centre half-back, Braden Zal, East Brighton, and Rory McElroy, Aaron McElroy.
Can play golf too.
Can play golf and a good half-back flanker.
Good on you, Rory. And the centre line, Will Neville from Springy Districts, Jeff Humphreys, Big Joff in the guts, and Will Nash from Murrumbina, and we ruled a line through your brother. On the back of not being at.
Not getting in again yet.
Fair enough.
See my old mate Joff Humphreys for his first appearance. He'll be wrapped with that. Looking forward to having a beer with you in a couple of weeks. Half forward, Corey Wilson, Doveton, Big Scooty Wettering, centre forward, and Tim Werner with 6 goals.
Huge. On the forward line, Michael Ashman from Hampton, Jai Segursma from Doveton, and Mladen Chosic from Springy Districts in the forward line.
Ruck again, Big Mick Kelly from Sky, Jamie Hackett, who we spoke about earlier in the midfield, and MC Michael Callanan in his first game back. It's good to see.
And on the interchange, Luke Hayes from Hampton, Jake Semmel from Murrumbina, Jesse Stone from Heatherton, and of course Sean James rounding out the Pine.
All right, that's the Division 2 team of the week as you boys saw it. Let's move on now to the next round of football, brought to you by Melsafe. It will be a standalone game this weekend, Doveton versus Keysborough. This is going to be an absolute corker. Can I get your tips, please?
Yep, we'll start with you, mate.
Be a ripping game of Division 2 footy. I think it'll be a bit of a shootout. They've both got some real firepower. So inside 50s is a real key stat you want to win. I think Keezy's backline will hold up a little bit better than possibly Dufton's will. They've got some really good key defenders down there. So I think great game of footy, high scoring, but I think Keezy by 10 points.
Yeah, I agree. I think Keezy might get the chocolates in this one. The home ground advantage, obviously. Back six, tremendous. The loss of Piver Wright, massive loss for the Doveton Eagles. And as we said, they really need a little bit of fortune with their injury list. Keysborough for mine, but will be an absolutely cracking game. So make sure you get down to Keysborough and have a crack at that. That'll be awesome.
Jared O'Neill will be back for that game. Can't wait to see him come back and play some football because he's absolutely fantastic. That might change things. Who knows? Brought to you by MilSafe will be the next round of football. It will be the round 9 fixture. East Brighton versus Heatherton will kick that one off. East Brighton at home.
They need to have a win. I think they might get the chocolates over Heatherton, but Heatherton have been competitive and they'll make them earn it.
I'm going to tip Heatherton this one, actually. I think it'll be low scoring. I think it'll be tough inside pack-to-pack type game, but I think Heatherton, mate, if Josh Bennett plays, definitely tip Heatherton.
Next game will be Caulfield at home to Hampton, Will.
Close one. Two rivals, similar sort of home venues, if you like, so not so much a home ground advantage for the Bears there. A must-win game for Hampton, but I think this could be one that Caulfield might pinch it.
I'm going to have to disagree there. I think Hampton, yeah, they'll play the small ground well. They're used to it. I think they'll win by 25 points.
Good game, this one.
Yeah.
All right, we'll be able to move on to the next one. Beena hosting Chelsea Heights. I think Beena will get the job done there, boys.
I think so too, and pretty easily too.
Yeah, Luke James back in. They'll score heavily.
I'd like to give him a chance.
How many's
LJ kicking this one.
8 last time. I think he'll. Depends who plays on him, but I reckon, he'll kick 7.
7. I'm going to hold you to that. We'll bring it up next week. What are you going for? 10?
I'll give him 10.
You're going the double digits.
I want to see someone kick 10. If anyone's going to kick 10, it'll be LJ.
Good on you, mate. Moving on to Keysborough, Springvale Districts. I cannot wait for this game. It is going to be an absolute cracker. I don't know about fiery, but it's going to be two really good football sides just going at it, Will.
Yeah, between two coaches who reckon the other's the premiership favourites. So a lot on the line.
So much pressure.
Premiership favouritism on the line between these two sides. So, no, in all seriousness, will be an absolute belter. Almost a toss of the coin from one. At the moment, the two best sides in it. Probably the first real test for... obviously the previous week against Dufton Eagles, the first real test. We'll get a better indication of where they sit after that.
Come on, mate.
Probably Springvale Districts. Springvale Districts.
I know why you said that, man.
You know what? I'm actually going to tip Keezy because I think they're too good.
Leave the pressure valve. That's
they're
right.
the best team in the comp, and I think they'll win.
Good on you, mate. Well, best of luck to you anyway with that one. Doveton will take on Sky. Doves, you would have thought, boys, get that one done.
Yes.
Yes? Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Well done. We've got through the show. It's been a long one. Well done to you, Will. Well done to you, Tomo. Best of luck with whatever you get up to this weekend. Are you going away? What are you going to do? Are you going to warm?
Might head down and see the game on the weekend.
Good
Should
on
be
you,
a cracker,
mate.
and then watch my Pies knock off your Demons. I reckon.
You going down the slide at the big three?
It ain't me, thank God, because that's going to be really, really cold. If the weather is going to be like it is today, or it has been, these poor people running on it. I'm not 100% sure who the full list is yet, but we'll get along and have a look anyway. Tom, are you going away this weekend, mate?
No, we've got a bit of a shindig at the old President's Place. It's got a 52 acres out in Pearstale. So the club will be there and you can do whatever you like out there, and he's got guns and he's got motorbikes and all the rest of it, so should be a bit of fun. Yeah.
All right, out there.
Keep Jonk on a tight leash.
That has been the GameFace Footy Show for the Southern Football Netball League Division 2. It's been an absolute cracker. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you next week as we bring you everything here at GameFace HQ that is to do with the Southern Football Netball League.